I was really curious to know what it felt like to leave my garage without any level of fossil fueled assistance and to get to this place that I love so much. What does it mean to travel from the coast and the place that we call home traditionally up into this place that also feels like home for us in such a wild and often unforgiving way?
Mine didn't get off the ground and it was weighing in at 43. Tim's was weighing apparently at 50.
Like, Tim didn't even own a bike before this, like days before this, and a few days after that, we're in the garage putting things together and about to go on this trip, all of us not knowing what was going to happen. We were kind of talking about what it would feel like and mean to ride from our homes to Mt Kosciusko. We wanted to explore that relationship and experience it in the most raw and real way. So we came up with this bike trip. It was really this kind of like wild idea of traveling from one home to another. It could all completely fail. The inspiration behind this journey was to really build on our relationship with Mt Kosciusko. It came whilst we were on a camping trip up there in the winter last year, and I think I've really become quite aware of these kind of core pillars and values for me, which are connection and adventure, creativity and curiosity. And I think if I can create trips or anything in my life that involves those four sort of themes, then my bucket feels really full. I think I became curious about what it felt like to really feel the country that you're traveling through, to feel the wind, to feel the rain, to feel the snow, the cold, the hot. All of these things that you miss when you're in a car, I really wanted to feel that. For me, there's no better way to come back to self than to be out in the wilderness. It really just helps you become present and be completely in that moment. I guess for me, that's why wilderness trips are often therapy for me. They help me, in a strange way, enter into this meditative state. I think I've learned some of my biggest lessons in the wilderness. I feel like some of those lessons have been the most formative in my life. When you really strip back all of this noise that we are surrounded by in our daily lives and you take it back to, your daily task is just to seek food, shelter, water. And that's all that becomes important. When we got into Jindabyne, I feel like we were all equally elated in that, and it kind of just felt like a normal day in some sense. And it wasn't until we really sat back and looked at it as an entirety that it became really special. And it was special because of this understanding and realization that we had literally just pedaled our bikes, which is a success in itself, but we'd pedaled it with all of our ski gear and all of our camping gear from the front door of the house that I'm, laying in right now. And we went to this faraway place to realize we were kind of getting at least close then to the snow line. And, that became our next goal. And then when the weather turned out and our planning went well when we got there. It's just like, oh shit, now we're going skiing. It really felt like we rode into winter. And it's snowing and it's -8 in Australia. Like, it was just these bizarre, dry, wintry conditions that you just don't usually get. Reflecting on that how lucky we were to be able to experience that. I lost some self-confidence in my life in recent years, and I went hard, I went big, and I dreamt big. But the fuel for that was often negative criticism. It was often hard for me to say that I was proud of myself for doing these sorts of things or for doing anything at all. I just had this moment of feeling so surrounded by great humans and so supported by my two great friends. It was just so lovely to feel that. It was chaotic, it was snowing, there was things to do. I had to get out of my riding bibs and into ski gear, and it was kind of anticlimactic in many ways, but what is usually like a horrible schlep through some trees became this like ski touring through powder. And we were all like, okay, where can we go from here? And yeah, each day was just more inspiring than the other. I think this trip has really given me confidence in thinking big again. It's reminded me that you can dream big. I felt surprised that we made it. We spent hours deliberating if we were even going to leave or not. If you make the wrong decision, it can become uncomfortable really quickly. But knowing that we had the equipment to get through that and to be safe and to be warm, you know, like we had the shells, but we also had sleeping bags and the tents, and to know that you can push through bad weather with such good equipment and still be safe is something really nice to know. And so for that, you know, I really trust Mont. I honestly don't think I would change anything about this trip. I somehow don't think it could have gone any better. I think it had every little ingredient that we needed and kind of wanted. In terms of, for me, it was like connection and community and adventure and creativity. It had all that